AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
So this is Andrea or Andrea. I'm sorry, Andrea.
Andrea.
Beautiful. Andrea, she's beautiful.
And she'll bust your ass.
I don't listen, man. Wait. I do mind that. Take it easy on me, Andrea.
Bust your ass.
She's a pretty wow, she's beautiful.
Extremely beautiful and a hooper.
And then what I like, so this is her, Andrea Carter on ESPN's First Take. Look at
why he look. Nah. Somebody gotta say it. I gotta say it. Shannon be looking like a tranny sometimes, bro.
Oh no, yo, you are wildin'.
He be looking wild.
We gotta use different words, man.
Oh well, tell me what the words are. He looks. He looks wild.
Can't say Quasimodo.
What can I say?
You could say Quasi Hermie. I don't know. Let's get back to this.
I gotta be able to say something. I gotta be able to tell the truth.
Stephen A. Smith is salty.
Yeah, it looks like a they wilding on him. They wilding on him.
What they said?
Fish is wilding on him.
No, that nigga. And we just said he was working out. We just said he was working out with Ronnie Coleman.
He was working out with Coleman. We're doing the science right now. That's crazy. Yo, come on, man.
Listen, listen, Gilbert. If you think we flame you, what you got to say about that? Chill out, man. We go at everybody, man.
Everybody.
Clickbaiting. No, we just us. We having fun out here. So Andrea Carter was on ESPN, back on ESPN for a while because I didn't see any WNBA.
Wait. The sporting page said he looks like a Shannon. They're going crazy. That was great. That was a good one. All right, play. My fault, Ray. I gotta get out the comments. My fault.
I gotta clip all this shit up. God damn it. Can you resist the comments for 10 minutes, please? We'll get back to them, man.
I'm sorry.
I'm not going to work, man. Are we good?
That doesn't mean I'm here for 2 hours and 2.5 hours.
Okay, but I'm not saying 2.5, but about an hour and a half.
Go.
Did you like my tone? How about
Baby Flea was looking at you like you had 10 heads yesterday. Like, I need my dad. What are y'all doing?
We were responding to somebody going crazy on us.
She looked at me because the top stairs is up there. So she looked down at me. She's I'm working.
Bedtime, father.
Yeah. Let's get back to it. Let's give it
one more try. Andrea Carter was on ESPN's First Take for the first time in a long time. Ever since they went at it about the whole Caitlin Clark thing.
Where's Monica McNutt? And why hasn't she been on? Anyway, I digress.
Exactly. We'll get to that. Stephen A. Smith is still salty after Monica McNutt cooked him in that viral segment ESPN never uploaded to their YouTube. They're so sad. They're now abruptly editing out female guest responses to make him look good. They're doing all this to protect his fragile ego.
I hear you, right? I hear you 100%. But another level of noise was coming from people. You were one of them who also tried to create a picture around Caitlin that the league was against her based on the actions of less than 5 former players or current players, which also creates a lot of noise. Like we saw during the All-Star game, the league and the players in this league like Caitlin. They enjoy Caitlin. They had so much fun with Caitlin. So there was noise created from every single
was pointing the finger directly at you because I'll
no, not me.
I'll come to your defense about that. But let me also make this a point. You're not entirely accurate with what you just said because.
So I guess they chopped that up on.
What is he about to say, Fabian?
I'm about to click on this right here.
Oh, I wanted to hear what he was about to say, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm clicking the video so we can watch more of the segment. But it was intense, and you could tell Andrea She just didn't want any parts of it. More seconds. All right, 5 more seconds. All right, YouTube. Thanks.
I wanted to see what that goofy had to say because he was about to say something that she wasn't right about. That can't be the thing. That can't be the running theme.
What's that?
Of you getting you think you doing something by bringing women on the platform. Pause it because she's talking. I don't want people to miss.
I think she's just explaining the game right now. It's because it's 18 minutes long. I'll look for it while you talk.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I'm watching the formula that he's trying to put together, him and the rest of that, producers, whoever picks the talent, because he always talks about he picks the talent. Everybody that's on here is handpicked by me. Well, if you're handpicking these people, specifically these women who are covering the WNBA for you, because you don't watch, you're not in tune watching the WNBA. I'm not trying to slight you, but if you're trying to latch your wagon onto something that's catching like wildfire, like watch the game, be a part of what they turn this into. Strictly knowing what to say or the right things to say about Caitlin Clark, when in fact, if it turns into a conversation about WNBA basketball, them two niggas, they would look bad. They would look bad. Monica McNutt would run circles around him. Andre Carter would run circles around him because they cover it. They cover it. When the conversation is about Caitlin Clark and her effect on the league and what the league should do and how they should promote it, right. Yeah, they're comfortable in that space because you could debate that. But you can't debate facts on watching the game. And when they get into that, they never have her up there with that. They never have them up there just strictly talking about the New York Liberty and the Atlanta Dreams series. Like that's, you know what I'm saying? That's what it should be.
But it's how often do they have Tim Legler up there? Even during the playoffs or whenever it is, and it's a big game. It's usually mostly the Lakers and whatever's controversial. So that was always my thing with the Monica McNutt going up there, and it was like, you should have been talking with the WNBA.
Corey Lee got his foot on my neck tonight. I love Corey. Corey's the illest, man. He said, "Don't take about time, nigga."
So this is Monica McNutt. I'm sorry, Andrea Carter on ESPN's First Take with Stephen A. Smith and sorry, Shannon Sharpe. I was gonna say something crazy.
I know you was. You're a nut.
No, we're saying greatness is on the way.
Stephen A., I would be remiss if I didn't say this. A lot of this noise came by people that were sitting on this network. They tried to minimize her, said, well, you giving her all this credit. What about the women that came before her? What the women came before,
both of these dudes
all this credit
are so super spicy. Look at Shannon Sharpe, the way he talks, and then look at after he makes that statement, look at Stephen.
He sits back like this, and all she's doing up there is continuing to smile, continuing to have that pleasant look on her face, as women do. You know what I'm saying? Like she's inviting conversation. These niggas be trying to be bullies to women. Go ahead.
Like a lady. Look at this chump,
that was sitting on this network. They tried to minimize her, said, well, you giving her all this credit. What about the women that came before her? What the women came before her, what they did cannot be taken away. That ain't got nothing to do with Caitlin Clark. But there was a lot of people trying to make sure they keep Caitlin Clark in her place, because what you're doing, if you give her all this shine, you minimize what they done. You can't minimize what Maya Moore or Candace Parker or Lisa Leslie or Lauren Jackson or Diana Taurasi or Simone Augustus or any of the other great players. That Caitlin Clark, what she's doing doesn't minimize what they've done. But we should have been giving her the credit. We saw the ratings. We saw the merchandise sales. We saw the attendance. But y'all want to make it about something else. Oh, what about the women that laid the foundation? What about this? What about it? That ain't got nothing to do with Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is box office. She's doing this. And instead of giving her credit, y'all tried to make it about, oh, y'all poo-pooing the old guard.
Did Stephen A. make the word box office in sports like a thing?
I mean, that's his way of talking. That's his way of saying somebody it needs to be watched. He doesn't, because I'll tell you this much. Even his breakdown on actual basketball players now, he's not good at that either.
Who, Stephen A?
Yeah, he's not good at that anymore.
But what is he gonna break down? What do you expect him to break down?
He calls Kyrie Irving box office. That's it. He don't break. There's no breakdown of what Kyrie Irving is actually doing out there. Kyrie Irving is a 50, 40, 90 guy. So for a guy that is that efficient, you should be able to talk more about him than just he's box office.
I don't expect him to do that. That's why
you don't expect that now. You don't expect that now, Fabian, because you've watched the maturation from him covering Allen Iverson in the mid 90s to late 90s and him actually having to write. But hear me out for a second, Fabian. Like that approach of being a beat writer is completely different than him being the guy at ESPN. His where he was at, he had to give a damn about what was going on basketball wise. That's why it's so disheartening about this dude, Stephen A. Smith, because he has morphed into a character and who this person on TV is now. At one time, he was pounding the pavement and had to be a part of the culture. He had to be a part of it. He was in them high school gyms covering Stephon Marbury. He was in Philly covering early Allen Iverson. Like, he had to be in the trenches. So when he does this goofy shit, it bothers people that know his history.
But I don't think even back then I would ever look to even report. I don't look at any reporter to dissect nothing. That's just how I've always been. I look for them to report me the stats. They don't tell me how Kyrie Irving was in practice. He worked on his left hand. I mean, they might report that, but I don't look forward to them breaking down the game. He shot this many free. We always had to deep dive into that. Stephen A. Smith was even worse his first go around with ESPN. The way he called people out their name and everything like that. Like, you should. It was funny to us because it was shocking because nobody did that. Then Skip Bayless when it came on after him and did that. That's why Tim Legler has always been a top favorite of ours on ESPN because they're going to go to him and he's going to break the game down. That's who I expect to do it. And not just because he's a player, because Zach Lowe's not going to get enough credit, but Zach Lowe does that. I don't know if he played basketball. I'm going to him because he's going to tell me who shot from where on the shot chart, what schemes they went to. He can do that too. Tim Legler is the same kind of JJ Redick before he was a Lakers coach. These are the guys we're going to. That's why JJ Redick used to run circles around Stephen A. Smith when they weren't on the agenda tip. Once they got on the agenda side, he was stepping in Stephen A. circle. And it was like, now you're arguing some bozo shit. But this right here so far with Stephen A. and Shannon Sharpe, to your earlier point, this is where they can argue with Andrea Carter about. They can't argue with her about X's and O's. She's just breaking the game down. But you could tell Shannon Sharpe was mad, sassy, and Chief Small Soul because he wanted to bring this back up. Stephen A. leaning back,
but see,
right? Because they wanted to call her out.
But that's what it's about at this stage for them. It's not about impressing the casuals, the diehard fans, and the people who are just trying to learn the game. It's not about teaching anymore. I think I brought this up yesterday, bro. Like I said, when I watched Gil, I had to learn how to sift through the bullshit because if I listen when he's talking hoop, oh yeah, he's amazing. He's gonna teach you something. But it's
he could do that, right? He can report, he can do what Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe do, go be polarizing, but they can't do what he does and break down basketball.
Absolutely right, Fabe. Like absolutely right. They can't do it. And so my issue is that they have like even Shannon, like he's completely leaned into the hyperbole and the banter and the bull. I'm trying to stay away from it, but the bullshit, right? On Undisputed, we watched his character grow, but one thing for sure, him and Skip were gonna have great debates about football. Him and Skip were gonna have great debates about basketball. I don't see any of his knowledge being exposed on ESPN. You mentioned it. I'm gonna give it back to you. You mentioned it the other day about, and me and you were talking about. It's like him and Stephen A. are too buddy up there. At some point, somebody's gonna have to okay, you got to go to this side, I got to go to this side, and we got to do this for 2 hours just so people don't think like, you know what I'm saying? It's not authentic anymore. It's just not. So I don't know. I'm rambling at this point with them, but they just if they put an ounce of authenticity in it and not worrying about their bosses or worrying about ratings or worrying about just be y'all, because y'all are too connected not to notice sometimes y'all up there saying some bullshit.
No, but that is them. That's who they are. They are sassy individuals, and they hate. That's what I
think
said
they've
about.
Turned into that, Fabian. That's what I'm upset about.
They've always been sassy bochincheros. It's just that now we're seeing, bro. Shannon Sharpe has never had this much light. How much time on the air does Shannon Sharpe have? That's what Joe Rogan always said. You're gonna mess up when you're talking to a bunch of people all day long and you're recording it. So somebody's gonna catch you and then clip it up and be like, "Look at this idiot." It's like Shannon Sharpe's gonna have a bunch of moments like that because you're not a trained speaker like that from your whole life. You were a trained football player. It's not an easy thing to do. People catch us all the time in the comments. You didn't know Steven Jackson had 3 seasons of 20. Who cares, bro? Right? You're gonna catch us too. We speak for a living now. Okay, so with them though, it's like we dabble in it, but and that's what I really wanted to get to. The way Shannon is speaking, we talk like that about everything. When it's a barbershop, we do talk. That is the tone about anything. I don't care what it is. So with Adraya, she's sitting there and just keeping her composure is still kind of uncomfortable because you yelling at the top of your lungs. I don't know why you're yelling for, Shannon. Who you competing with, right?
It's just that's a tough spot for those sisters to be in. And what I mean by that is, you call it what you want, man. If they gave the same, Monica gave the same energy back. We haven't seen her since.
I don't know. See,
you know what I'm saying? Like if Adraya said, "You niggas is wilding," I'm about not those words, but y'all wilding. Hold on, let me let y'all know. And that neck start moving, and you know what I'm saying? Like we would look at her, the masses, not me and you, but the masses would look at her like she can't keep her composure on national TV. They giving her a shot to be on First Take, ESPN, instead of actually looking at it as she's taking this opportunity to defend herself, 1, to put some respect on the women's game, WNBA, 2, and 3, let you guys know I know what I'm talking about. They need somebody up there, like even Molly. They back Molly into corners sometimes, and Molly can't even come out swinging because it's like, all right, I gotta be cool and let them be them.
Because there's no. That's why I'm a little disappointed in Joy Taylor as well, because she felt like she was someone who sounded like she knew the game, and then she was the one who could be like when it was her between Skip and Shannon, she could push back, and she seemed like she's a little.
I enjoyed the show. That was early. She was the first moderator.
Oh, okay.
She when Undisputed started back in what 16, 17, whatever that was, she was the first one.
You said Monica McNutt. She called out Stephen A. Smith, basically calling him jealous. All right. So Monica McNutt insists she and Stephen A. Smith remain on good terms following an on-air argument earlier this year. You mean to tell me that nobody in the NBA and NFL get jealous? Why is this a thing that women can't be? The numbers aren't the numbers he's going after. Now she's speaking to Monica McNutt is speaking to Stephen A. Smith's own jealousy as he seeks to become the highest paid talent at ESPN. This is dangerous waters. The numbers he's going after because of McAfee, Aikman, Buck, he might say they're raising market value, but at the bottom of that is they're not about to get paid more than me. Sounds like jealousy to me, but I haven't seen Inside Out 2.
That's a great one right there. That was good, Monica.
McNutt has appeared just once on First Take since the day after that June 3rd blow up when she was live from the National Association of Black Journalists conference. That's the interesting part with Andrea Carter today or yesterday going back on ESPN.
June 3rd, Fabian. That the entire summer has gone. We about to go into the holiday season like that.
And the summertime is when the WNBA is going.
Right.
So the fact that Monica McNutt is not on there is crazy.
It's playoff time for the WNBA right now.
And that's our girl. We're familiar with Monica McNutt because she's a Knicks analyst and she's a Knicks broadcaster.
So let me ask you a question. What do you lean more towards? Do you lean more towards Stephen A suggesting that she not be on the show anymore? Or do you lean more towards her saying, first take, I don't want to be bothered?
I lean towards that. I lean towards the latter because Stephen A that was my thing with Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith. Max Kellerman does not provide that. Even though they might have a disagreement, Monica brought virality or virality, whatever.
You got it.
Steve, I keep telling you, he is a chief morsel. He is sassy. That's what he's what does he always brag about? What show he always brags about being on?
General Hospital.
I would never brag about that.
Listen. Let me tell y'all something. Days of Our Lives, General Hospital, all of these things are things that I watched with my grandmother as a young child, right? But I would never go on the basketball court and tell you niggas that. I would never come here and tell y'all that like I just did. But my point is that
I used to cut school and watch Days of Our Lives. Celeste was my girl.
Celeste was so bad. Anyway, we're off topic. Anyway, All My Children was my favorite.
I didn't watch that. I used to like Days of Our Lives because I was just like Celeste was.
Days of Our if I had to rank them, All My Children, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives.
General Hospital, I think probably, but I don't even know which one's better. I just watched it because of that, because it was kind of trash. It was stupid.
It's stupid. Come on, it's garbage.
Right.
It's garbage.
I'm sorry. I think we're losing subscribers.
We're talking about soap operas.
And I just called Stephen A. sassy for being on one.
And I just admitted to watching all of them.
Oh. You said all of them. Even though First Take is a soap opera.
Fish said that's what we're doing now, soaps. Don't front, Fish. You the OG. You watched them from the beginning. Tell us about the old shit. You know about the old shit, OG.
You used to watch.
Drop your favorite one in the comment right now, Fish. Don't run from it. Come on, OG.
He used to watch Dallas, but he likes that. He wants to invite that kind of moment because he knows what it means for Twitter, the impressions, and it boils down to that. I've said it. I'm going to keep saying it. Stephen A. Smith is a broker between the ad money, the ad revenue for ESPN, and the content. That's what he is.
I just heard Dan Le Batard talk about that.
What did he say?
I watched the segment, him, Amin El Hassan, and the rest of his production team, and they were just talking about how ESPN has turned into a frat house.
Oh, right. I didn't finish that. Yeah.
So see, Fish couldn't run from it. He told us.
What was his joint?
All My Children in college got the girls in the student union. He was bagging joints. He will go to the student union because they watching it. So I'm gonna go there at the time that All My Children is on because the joints is in there. Fish diabolical, man.
And want to watch some more of this? Because we didn't even get to the real. What's the word? Cringeworthy part.
Y'all never talk about the old guard like this. Nah, I ain't gonna let it slide. Caitlin Clark, unanimous rookie of the year. But what's even more impressive, she's first team WNBA. First.
You know, Shannon, I hear you, right? I hear you 100%. But another level of noise was coming from people.
Pause it. I understand now why you have to leak sex tapes. Look at this dude. Now I understand why you have to leak sex tapes. Look at how he's behaving on national TV. Look at him. Yo, he's always puckered. Why you always puckered, nigga? Like, goddamn. Nigga always puckered up, man. What the fuck, yo?
Then we see a real woman. Look at her cheekbones and all that. Look, my wife's not here right now.
Look at that bone structure, man. Look.
Yeah, we might have to fight over. You might have to kick my ass over, Flea.
Yeah, we could duke it out. Pause. Damn,
I gotta get my gun then, man. Fuck that. Man, you just gonna beat my ass.
Me, I'll go get my it. Nigga,
Nah, because you can't know. Because then you can't know. No. You're not gonna beat me up and take the girl. Nah, fuck that.
We could share. We're going crazy now. Bring us back, Ray.
I probably gotta go first because I don't. Who knows? 6'2", athletic. Nah, I ain't going behind you.
I'm in the gym every day. Drink
Nah,
my water.
Yeah,
eat
you
my
go second,
green.
man.
Eat
Let
my
me get
greens. And I'm pre-40 still. I'm pre-40. I'm knocking on the door, but I'm pre-40.
I'm blue chewing.
You were one of them who also tried to create a picture around Caitlyn that the league was against her based on the actions of less than 5 former players or current players, which also creates a lot of noise. Like we saw during the All-Star game, the league and the players in this league like Caitlyn. They enjoy Caitlyn. They had so much fun with Caitlyn. So there was noise created from every single
was pointing the finger directly at you. Because
no, not me.
That's what they're talking about.
That. But let me also make this.
So they cut her off explaining herself. Okay.
That's the point. You're not entirely accurate with what you just said. Because guess what? Whether it was Shannon, whether it was myself, we didn't paint a picture of the entire league. What we said was there was noise out there emanating from some. And those folks were very, very loud.
And the thing is, this is an 18-minute video. So why did you cut that portion out?
Conspicuous with their dissent towards things involving Caitlin Clark. When we pointed that out, we said why? What was the necessity for it? Because a rising tide lifts all boats. This woman is box office. Plus, she can play.
Shut up. I'm sick of him. That's why I can't watch the show. I don't watch it. I just watch the clips. Because the rising tide was it? Shut up.
And the combination of the two would ultimately give all of those wonderful ladies for the wonderful work that they had done over so many years. It would have been validated, even though it came through the conduit was her. Ultimately, it stood to benefit the collective whole. And rather than some out there accepting and embracing that, they resented it. And they tried to use the contributions of others who came before Caitlin Clark to justify their vitriol. Instead of owning the fact that what really was their objective, that what really was their agenda, is that they resented the fact that this young lady who came into the league, took it by storm, and drew in a level of attention that they weren't able to draw. That was the reality.
One thing I want to say before we go to break, really quick, Dre. I think one of the impetuses, especially
what you got to say, Molly. I'm not gonna lie. What's her name again? Molly.
Molly's gorgeous.
I don't care for her, number one. Number two, when she starts talking, her points are garbage. I expect this to be garbage right now.
For this conversation was obviously her not getting an Olympic roster spot, right? Remember, we had a big debate over that. Was she deserving of it? Was it more the marketing, the hype? And here's what I'll say, and I know, Adraya, that you agree. At that point, some of us felt like maybe she hadn't proved it in the WNBA, but at this point, she certainly has. So she proved everybody wrong.
What about the guards? Let's talk about the guards that did make it. Talk about the guards that did make it.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Why are you leading like this, bro?
You were one of the ones that say she didn't earn it. How did the guards play that within the Olympics? How did they play?
For sure. But we can't take how Caitlyn finished the W season and pivot that to how she would have done in the Olympics. That's a completely different argument.
Look at that point. Look at how she played up until that point. Chelsea Gray had only played one game before she went to the Olympics. She was out playing down
Chelsea, pause. Every woman on that team has a body of work. Everybody that was selected on that team has a body of work within the W. We've been able to see multiple seasons of what they bring on a professional level. Yes, looking back, would the decision of them putting Caitlin Clark on the team been an okay decision? Yes. Can we look back and say maybe they could have done that? But the fact still remains, every woman that was on that team was a great player. Every woman on that team was well-deserving. Every woman on that team has a body of work that is not, Caitlin Clark's body of work on the pro level was not comparable at that point. It just wasn't. Shannon talking about, what about Chelsea Gray? Chelsea Gray was hurt. She was hurt at the beginning of the year. But she's still a great player. Jackie Young, great player. Ionesco, was she on there? I think she was on there. Sabrina, great play. Like all of these. So we can't make it out to seem like, well, the other players that made the team weren't good enough, or she was better than them. How dare they make the team? Shannon, cut it out.
outplaying Diana Taurasi at that point in time that she was on the team? It's a simple yes or a simple no.
But was Caitlin outplaying Diana Taurasi? But you can't just factor in current play, Shannon. That's all I'm saying. You got to factor in. Well, if you're factoring in Diana Taurasi's Olympic experience, Diana Taurasi's how she was with the team. I get it.
Shannon, hold on one second.
Olympic lifetime achievement.
Shannon Sharpe, hold on one second. What we're saying
that's a lie. That's a lie because Kevin Durant and somebody else, they got a lifetime achievement award because they wanted to get the most gold medals of all time. So that's always been a theme with
Kevin Durant knew that playing in this Olympics, once he was done, he would be the leading scorer in Olympic history for men's basketball. He knew that. And everybody on the team knew that. Grant Hill knew that. Jerry Colangelo knew that. Everybody knew that, which is why he was put on the team. Like, it's enough now.
Is you guys were right. That's what we're saying. You
no, Molly, you did not say that, Molly. No,
that's what you said.
That's not what you said, Molly. That is not what you said.
I literally just brought it up.
She did just say that.
You were talking about.
I gotta defend Molly. She did literally say that, but Andrea is arguing the opposite. And she made a good point about the lifetime. It is a lifetime achievement award for Diana.
You were talking about folks making the point that, at the time that they had picked the Olympic team, Caitlin Clark didn't necessarily deserve it based on her play on the court. When the point that Shannon and I was making at the time was that, wait a minute, in the end, there are people that have ended up on Team USA for reasons other than just their elite play at that particular moment in time.
She was a marketing whiz. Right. And she was everyone right, because she is a marketing whiz and she did it on the court. That's what I'm saying. Molly. So you were ahead of the curve.
You're not listening, Molly. You're not listening. I'm talking about your point, Molly. Your point.
And I'm explaining it to you at the curve.
You're not listening, Molly. You're not listening. I'm talking about your point, Molly. Your point.
And I'm explaining it to you.
At the end of the day, we were making the point. Do you want to promote the league or not? And people like Adraya and others were resistant to that playing a role in somebody making the roster for Team USA. And we were saying, hell with that. You want to promote the sport. You put that girl up in there, and people were appalled at that notion. That was the subject.
But Stephen A., this is just going to come from different perspectives because you all's initial point was a marketing point, and that was what I was arguing with. That was what I was arguing with, the marketing point for Caitlin. What Molly is trying to say, and what I agree with, is now that we have seen how Caitlin finished this season, there is a good basketball argument for her being on the team, for her making the team. There is now a great basketball argument. But listen, no, Shannon, listen. How she's playing right now, you just said it 5 minutes ago, was a testament to the rest that she had and the break that she had. We don't know how she would have played without that break. So we're saying Caitlin has now proven herself basketball-wise, but you all weren't making a basketball argument.
But that is the fact. And they're doing typically what a lot of niggas do when their wives are right. They start running from trying to be accountable for when they misspoke or they were wrong. They are wrong. And they're not wrong about what they're saying. They're wrong from a basketball perspective. From a marketing perspective, absolutely. Absolutely. She was a draw. Nobody is arguing that. The argument has always been there are 12 to 16 other women in the league currently. Forget yesteryear. We're not talking about years ago. We're talking about right now. Ryan Howard is nice. She is nice. Ogunbowale is nice. Ionesco is nice. Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray, Kelsey Plum, Asia Wilson, Nneka Ogwumike. Like, there's still women in this league that were nice and well deserving of playing Olympic basketball. She didn't prove anything yet from a basketball perspective. That is that's the argument, and that should be the argument. Forget the marketing side. They so hung up on the marketing side because they're marketing tools now.
Right. I think she did prove enough that Caitlin did the first half of the season, or before the Olympic break, that she was nice. This is a totally different Caitlin Clark at post-Olympic than pre-Olympic, and that's what Adraya is arguing, which she's conceding now. Like, yo, if she was playing like this before the Olympic break, then I got y'all. I can't argue with you. Right? That's what she's saying. Then she would have to make it because now she's a super duper. She's breaking records. Less turnovers. Her scoring went up. It was closer to 20 points a game. I think she's averaging more than 20 a game after the Olympic break. And you're leading the league in assists. So yeah. But if you're on the side of the player, then you're gonna argue with what Andre is saying. You need the stats, you need the play, and we gotta honor our legend in Diana Taurasi because she got the Hall of Fame, Lifetime Achievement Award. That's what we recognize. The marketing side, strictly business side of it, of course, Shannon and Stephen A are right about that. But to yell and scream, and especially after she checkmated your ass, because all she's telling you is, yo, she proved me wrong. She proved me wrong about not even prove me. She didn't prove her wrong. She showed and proved a different level post-Olympic. That's all. They can't argue that. You can't argue this is not a totally different player, but a refined player. And she, because of the Olympic break where she didn't play, and as a matter of fact, the whole Indiana Fever team were reportedly practicing more often together.
It's got them in the playoffs, Fabian. They're a playoff team for the first time since Jules was born.
Right.
Like, come on, what are we talking about?
And Kelsey Mitchell came back from injury, right?
And Kelsey Mitchell and Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark going forward might be one of the best backcourts in the league, if not the best backcourt in the league. And I love my Liberty. I love Ionescu. I love her. But Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell, tough. Very tough.
Sporting page. I don't know if you've noticed, but Caitlin Clark has just broken too many records to just mention the 2 of 13 from the playoffs. Like
a game. And we love the sporting page, but like a game?
What Clark did was what I told y'all the first month of the season. She needed to step back, stop trying to average 30 like in college and focus on playmaking and rest. Those bozos need to shut up. And the other thing was you tried to call her out and she countered. And you could have countered back with nothing but noise and saying, no, but we were right though. About it. It's like, okay. But who's to say that she comes back playing the same way with the team when they might have developed a deeper chemistry during the Olympic break? She just said that, and they're not going to counter that. They're not going to counter that. It's just like, but the marketing. Andrea called to slice them up, man.
Andrea, and that was really what the point, and that's why I got an appreciation for her and even Monica. They were trying their best to keep it basketball, and I love that. For them women to want to just keep it strictly basketball, let me show you how good we are to talk this game. Forget all the hyperbole, because we could do that too. That's the easy part, in my opinion. Getting up here shouting, yelling, screaming, cursing, all that goofy stuff Flea be doing. Nah, I want to, that's fun, whatever. But I want to impress people with, I could talk the game. I'm familiar with what, like that's more what it is. I know there's the entertainment aspect of it, but the entertainment aspect got to come after we gain people's trust by, does he know what he's talking about? Andrea, do you know what you're talking about? Okay, you know what you're talking about, cool. So now you can lean in to have some fun and have a balance of entertainment and educating the people out there. Like there's you got to gain trust before you start doing the goofy stuff.
I love this comment from Sporting Page. She's a rookie with many weaknesses. They will skip the basketball discussion and go to business. Nothing wrong with having a rookie sit down and wait their turn.
It's a fact.
And there's nothing wrong with.
It's a fact.
Damn, I'm forgetting paying your dues.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being reminded that you're still human. And there's a lot going on with Caitlin Clark. That's not the norm. That's not a normal thing. AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.